Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. I'm Hasham Ali Khan. So far 4 videos I have completed on theory on this unit number 1, Introduction to Financial Accounting. This is the 5th and last video on theory on this topic. So in this video I'm going to explain you about the trial balance. What are the objectives? What are the benefits of making trial balance? And what is accounting equation? And what are accounting standards? What are the rationale for making accounting standard? And what is the important significance of accounting standards? These are the things I'm going to explain because in examination very frequently they will ask these theory questions. So remember, theory is also very important apart from solving the problems. So be perfect, be conceptually clear regarding the different terms used in accounting. Then only you can be able to understand the problems. You can be able to solve the problem confidently. So if you have not watched the earlier videos, I suggest you go to the playlist of my channel. Select the subject, accounting for management. Select the videos of unit number 1 for Introduction to Financial Accounting. Be perfect. Take the screenshot of the points which I have written on the board, then I'll explain all the points. So first of all, the meaning of the term trial balance. A trial balance is a statement which is prepared at the end of the year by taking all ledger account balances. So at the end of the year, we find what is the balance in each and every ledger account. Some accounts may show debit balance, some accounts may show credit balance. Taking all debit balance in one column and taking all credit balances in another column, we will prepare the trial balance. The purpose of the trial balance is to check the arithmetical accuracy of the books of accounts. Because in double entry system, for every debit there is a corresponding credit. So whatever amount you are taking on the debit side, the same amount correspondingly you should take it on the credit side. In other words, we can check whether double entry system is followed or not by making this trial balance. By making the trial balance. Now here, trial balance is a statement which is prepared by taking all debit and credit balances from ledger accounts. It is prepared in order to verify whether debit and credit balance are same or not. Just now I told you to check whether double entry system is correctly followed or not. All debits are equal to all credits or not. It is prepared at the end of the year before making the financial statements. Normally, the trial balance will be prepared just before making financial statements to be sure that there are no errors. If the trial balance, both debit and credits are equal, that means we have correctly followed the double entry system. We can go ahead in preparing the financial statements. Now when both the sides of trial balance tally, it means both the books of accounts are accurate. So it's a prima facie that if both the sides, debit and credit side, totally same, that means trial balance is tallied or agreed. It means the accounts are correct, accurate. This is the meaning of the term trial balance. Now, what are the characteristics of trial balance? The first characteristics, trial balance is a statement. It is not an account. It is not compulsory to be made. It is optional, but it is always suggested. It is better to make the trial balance. Now it's a statement. All balances of ledger accounts are taken. The second characteristic feature, in the trial balance, we take each and every ledger account balance. Every ledger may have debit or may have credit. All the balances will be taken here. Now it is prepared to verify the arithmetical accuracy. The purpose of making the trial balance is to check the arithmetical accuracy of the books of accounts. Last one, it helps in preparation of financial statements. By making this trial balance, it will be very much helpful or easier to make the financial statements. So in simple words, we can say trial balance facilitates the preparation of financial statements. That's it. These are the characteristic features. The objectives, why we make the trial balance. The first one, it ensures that books of accounts are maintained as per the double entry system. Just now I told you, in order to be sure, to ensure that double entry system is correctly followed or not, to check that we prepare the trial balance. That is the objective. Secondly, it summarizes all ledger account balances. Ledger is a big book in which so many ledger accounts are there. It will be difficult to refer all the balances in all the accounts. This trial balance will give a summary. In few pages, we can get the balances of all the accounts. So trial balance will give the summary of all ledger account balances. That is the objective. Thirdly, it identifies the mistakes done by accountants in recording journal or ledger. That means if the accountants have committed any error in recording the transaction or posting them into a ledger account, that will come to surface. That can be known by preparing the trial balance. If the trial balance does not agree, it means the accountant has committed some errors. Now it serves as foundation for preparation of financial statements. So normally financial statements will be prepared from trial balance only. The trial balance will help in making the financial statements. So these are the objectives why we make the trial balance. What are the methods of making the trial balance? Two methods are there, balance method and total method. In balance method, which is commonly adopted, normally adopting method is balance method only. In balance method, we find out what is the balance in every ledger account. I told you the balance means the difference between debit side total and credit side total. So we strike the balance of every account, balance carried down, brought down. And those balances, whatever balance brought down we got either in the debit side or credit side. We take those balances in the trial balance. That is called balance method. One more method which is not common, which is very rare, is total method. In total method, we will not calculate the balance. Simply we take the total of debit side, total of credit side. That means a particular account, Mr. X account, he is having debit side total 1 lakh, credit side total 80,000. Don't strike the balance. Take the total of the debit side 1 lakh, take the total of the credit side 80,000. So in the ledger account, in the trial balance, we take Mr. X both debit side as well as credit side. Without striking the balance, we take the total of debit, total of credit of all the accounts. That method is called total method. But this is not the popular method. If in theory, you can write. But in most of the practical cases, we follow balance method. That's all. So this is the end of the explanation about trial balance. The next topic I'm going to explain is accounting equation. Accounting equation. Accounting equation shows the relationship between assets, liabilities and equity or capital. The relationship between assets, liabilities and capital will be shown by accounting equation. Accounting equation is the foundation of double entry system. Because in double entry system, every transaction affects two accounts. So every transaction affects two aspects, debit aspect and credit aspect. One account is debited, another account is credited. In other words, every transaction will affect either asset and also liability, or asset or capital, or like that every transaction will affect two things. So describe the double entry system of bookkeeping. Accounting equation explains the relationship between assets, liabilities and capital. The economic resources or properties which are possessed by a business are known as assets. The properties, the economic resources which are owned and possessed by the business are called assets. And the claims and right on these properties are called equity. Whatever assets or economic resources held by the business, they are assets. And these assets have the claim or right. The claims or right against these assets are known as equity. And equity are classified into two categories: outsiders or creditors equity and owners equity. The creditors equity is called liability and the owner's equity is called the capital. That means the claim against the assets are by the outsiders, liabilities, and also by the owners or capital. Now the accounting equation can be written as assets is equal to liabilities plus capital, or we can say capital is equal to assets minus liabilities. This is called accounting equation. The last topic is regarding accounting standards. See, accounting is based on some rules and regulations. So accounting will be done by following some rules and regulations. If these rules or regulations are made mandatory by a professional body, then these rules and regulations are called accounting standards. So simply, accounting standards are those rules and regulations which are made compulsory, mandatory by an accounting body, professional accounting body. Just like in India, we have Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, ICAI. This ICAI will make some rules and principles, regulations compulsory, mandatory for every organization in India. Then it will be called as accounting standard. So, accounting has certain rules and regulations which are to be followed for recording the transactions and also in preparing the financial statements. Now, in case a professional body makes these accounting rules mandatory in nature, these accounting rules, if the professional body makes it mandatory for recording transaction and preparing the financial statements, then it will become accounting standard. Accounting standard are written statements which are issued by professional body, and it contains uniform rules or practices which act as the basis for preparing and presenting financial statements. So these accounting standards are the written documents which are issued by the professional body and which must be followed by maintaining the accounts or preparing the financial statements. These are called accounting standards. And according to Kohler, one of the author, he says accounting standards are the codes of conduct. These are the codes of conduct which must be imposed by customs, law or professional bodies. These codes of conduct are imposed either by the customs or by the law or by the professional bodies for the benefit of public accountants and general accountants. Public accountant means the accountant which serves the public, and general accountant, the accountant which serves the every organization. So these codes of conduct which are imposed either by custom or by law or by professional bodies and which must be followed by public accountant or general accountant. These are called accounting standard according to Kohler. Now, rationale or need for accounting standard. Why accounting standards are needed? What is the purpose? First one, they are required to harmonize the accounting methods, procedure, treatment and policies globally. Nowadays, due to globalization, the world economies are integrated. That means there is not only exchange of goods and services, but also there is flow of fund from one country to another country. The world has shrunk into a small market, literally, because there is free flow of fund from one country to another country. So in this global economy, what will happen? There is a need to harmonize the accounting principles, accounting practices, accounting policies, so that the importance of this financial statement should be accepted globally in every country. That means, simple example I'll give you, the accounts prepared by an Indian company. It should be acceptable to any person throughout the world. So any person must have the confidence, trust on these financial statements. So accounting standards are imposed to harmonize the accounting policies, and this accounting statement should be globally accepted. Second, they are needed for formulating same principle for creation and presentation of financial statement throughout the world. So accounting standard purpose is to make the financial statements globally acceptable. That means those principles, those policies which are accepted throughout the world, to make that we require accounting standards. They are required for providing accounting information to different users. Nowadays, earlier the business users are very few. Only few people are the stakeholders in a business. But nowadays, there are many stakeholders, many users of financial statement. So accounting standards should serve the purpose of different users. that have been kept in mind while making the accounting standard. Accounting standards are needed for reaching global levels in financial accounting, reporting and analysis. See here, accounting is there in every country. Reporting, analysis, these are the things which are globally in every country. So to bring harmonization in these accounting methods, reporting methods, analysis methods, we require accounting standards. It brings about harmonization in accounting, analysis and reporting. Lastly, they are also required for creating benchmark in evaluating earnings and reporting globally. So these accounting standards will be very useful as a benchmark for earnings and also which is reporting globally. So these points shows the rationale or need for accounting standard. This question is very important in examination. What is the need or what is the rationale of making the accounting standard? Last one is importance or significance of accounting standard. Why accounting standard is so important in every country? So different points will explain you regarding the importance of these accounting standard. First point, uniformity. See here, if every firm adopts different accounting policies, then we cannot be able to compare. There will be a lot of chaos, there will be a lot of confusion in understanding the financial statements. Example, bankers have to give the loan to businesses. If different businesses follow different accounting methods, then it will be difficult for the banker to evaluate every business because there is no uniformity. If there is uniformity, the job of the banker will be very much easier to analyze, to evaluate. Secondly, comparability. Comparison is very, very important in every organization. A company wants to compare its own performance with their competitor's business. So until and unless both the companies follow the same accounting principles, same accounting policies, we cannot be able to compare the performance of two companies. So when accounting standards are there, every business is following the same accounting standard, then comparability will become easier. That is the advantage, benefit, which shows the importance of accounting standard. Third one is reliability. That means this a number of parties will rely, will have confidence, will have trust on the financial statements. See here, if you want to make a confidential financial statements, a trustworthy financial statements, it must follow the accounting standards. The firmness or steadiness of the economic system relies on the trust and confidence which users have on the fairness of financial statements. The users of financial statements must have the trust on financial statements, must have the fairness on these financial statements. Then only the confidence level will be maintained. So if the people have the confidence, if the users have confidence on financial statements, they will accept the financial statements. So these accounting standards will maintain the level of trust or confidence among the users of the financial statements. Next, useful to investors. Nowadays, many people are investing in capital market. They have different options to make investment in different companies. So before making the investment in companies, the investor will evaluate the performance of different companies, and they can compare the performance only if all the companies are following the same accounting standards, same principles. So before taking the investment decision, the investors will evaluate the performance, and accounting standard will help the investors in making a correct comparison. Next one is useful to auditors. Auditors are the people who check the accounts of the businesses, right? So these accounting standards will be very much helpful to the auditors also. The auditor has to see whether the business is following the accounting standards or not. If the business is not following the accounting standard, it is the responsibility of the auditor to give the opinion in the audit report. Next, last one is useful to government. If the accounting standards are there, The government's job is also easier because government is also one of the stakeholders in the business. The government requires the financial statements for imposing the taxes, for making different monetary policy, fiscal policy. The government requires the financial statements. The reliability of financial statements will be more if the businesses follow accounting standards. So it will be easier for the government to make the policies. That's all. So I have completed trial balance, accounting equation and accounting standards in this video. Watch the video 2-3 times, then only you can be able to understand, you can be able to get the confidence on these topics. Remember, in examination, theory is also important as that of problems also. Don't give more concentration, don't make imbalance between theory and problems. Give equal weightage to theory also. Inshallah, in the next video, I'll start the problems on this first unit, Introduction to Financial Accounting. So if you're satisfied with my lecture, give a like to the video. Share my channel among your groups, among your friends, so that more students can follow the channel and enhance the knowledge. And give your comments. Subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. And buy the super thanks which is given below my video. Inshallah, we'll start the problems in the next video.